John here, and we've got a new sponsor, DistroKid. Now that you've finished your latest Pirate Math Sponge Core Twitch trek, it's time to get it out there so everyone can hear it. DistroKid helps musicians get their music on all the major streaming platforms, and artists keep 100% of their royalties. And because you're a High Gain listener, you get 30% off. Just go to distrokid.com/VIP/highgain. That's distrokid.com/VIP/highgain. And now DistroKid has an app. The DistroKid app is available for iOS and Android. You can download it at distrokid.com/app or in the App and Play stores. We'd like to take a minute to thank our pals over at Isotope, makers of software and plugins for audio repair, mixing, and mastering. The new gold standard of audio repair, Isotope RX11, is coming in May. Buy RX10 now on sale and get RX11 absolutely free when it's released. We use Isotope products here at the High Gain. It's an important part of how we've been able to bottle pure podcast gold week after week. High Gain listeners get 10% off using the promo code FRET10. That's FRET10. That's all at isotope.com. IZOTOPE.com.
Oh, hey, it's me, Ed Peterson.
Hi, Ed. It's me, John Kiltica.
You started playing, and I was able to just overcome it and just hop right in.
And I stopped playing. I didn't want to freak you out.
I noticed. Thanks. It's the High Gain Podcast.
High Gain Podcast.
We talk about guitars. Old, gross, messed up, funky guitars. Exclusively.
Yes.
We're in beautiful West Seattle.
Where it is warm and sunny.
Yeah, it's awesome. We have some friends that have a house in Palm Springs.
Right.
Every once in a while, they're like, hey, no one's staying in our house for a month and a half. Do you want to go down there? And it's like, Seattle is just beautiful in July, August. It's just amazing.
It really is.
And these friends, they're like, yeah, no one's going to be in Palm Springs. Right, because it's 115 degrees every day. So we're going down to Palm Springs. We consistently miss the beautiful Seattle summer and replace it with 120 degree.
But you like that.
I love it.
Right?
Love it. Go out to the desert, you know, screw around with some bats flying around at night. I love it.
Bats are cool.
Bats are awesome.
Yeah.
There are more bats in that little valley than anywhere in the U.S. or something, more distinct species of bats, something like that. They love it there. It's full of bugs and shit.
We've got a Fender Mustang today we're going to be talking about.
Yeah. I guess I should know the history of the Mustang. I don't know that I actually do exactly. You know, last week, a couple weeks ago, you were shocked by some of the information in the notes.
Shocked by my own notes.
Yeah.
I was.
You think there will be anything in this one that'll shock you?
Maybe.
That'll be great when it's surprising even to the guy that wrote them.
I should start making the notes for the episodes like
weeks in advance.
A year ahead. So then when I read them, I'll be like, that can't be right. That kind of fact-checking never ends. Here's a little peek behind the curtain.
Oh, yeah.
As I'm editing the episodes, I run into stuff like that all the time. Wait, is that right? And then I have to stop and go to Google. I'm like, oh, that's complete bullshit. And then I have to decide, well, do I leave it in because it's funny?
Yeah, I mean, and every once in a while we'll get the mail and it's like, you were wrong about this and this and this and this.
Yeah, I'd rather just stay where we started on day one.
Loosey-goosey.
The story is number one. We'll put the facts in if there's time.
What's the color of this guitar, John?
Technically?
Yeah.
Blue. That's what Fender called it, and we'll get into why.
Oh, okay.
But the today times?
Right.
Daphne blue.
Yeah. Beverages.
Beverages, Ed.
That was pretty good.
Thank you.
That guitar is pretty cool.
This guitar is very cool.
Got a crow mug.
What's in it? Is it tea?
It's not tea. It's not coffee.
Whiskey.
Yes. 12 ounces of whiskey. No, it's hot water.
Hot water.
I didn't bring a tea bag. I didn't have coffee, and I was up there by myself. I'm having some lovely hot H2O. Because like a couple weeks ago, we did one of these episodes, and I drank coffee for 3 hours when we're down here screwing around, and then I did not sleep at all. It's just brutal. And I don't know that this is actually pro or prebiotic or post even. I don't think it's any of those things. But it is greens with ginger, pressed.
Ginger's always a solid choice.
It's got apple, cucumber, celery, lemon, spinach, ginger, kale, and parsley. Parsley seems like a weird ad.
That was just to be fancy. Beverage garnish.
I guess. Yeah, just keeping that gut health in check. Your recent emergency has led me to be conscious.
You are more gut forward.
Yeah, exactly. What about you? What do you got?
I too have coffee in a
Hot
mug.
water.
Oh, right. I have coffee in a mug. And I had a poppy last time.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have the same flavor again. The strawberry lemon prebiotic soda.
You're also in your Superman shirt again because you are like...
Afraid of change.
This is the kind of beverage, this pressed thing here.
Yeah.
I think you would hate it.
Does it smell a little bit like a turtle bowl?
Maybe.
Is that what I'm getting all the way across the room?
Yeah, it smells like grass.
Decaying green matter at the edge of the pond?
Yeah, yes. That is what you're smelling. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that guitar is pretty cool.
We're doing the Fender Mustang.
Yeah.
This one, as you can see, is really beat in all the best ways. Here's the backside. 1964.
Yeah.
The first year these things came out.
Not pristine, I would say.
And we're going to get into a primer, a Mustang primer.
Great.
But I would like to hear from you, Ed.
Yeah.
How did this happen? Where'd you get it? Tell us the story.
Yeah, this one...
This is a recent acquisition, right?
It is. The danger of this podcast is I've had a recent 2-guitar month. I like to space those out, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, I got a millimetric from our guy Florian up there in Canada.
Over there at Millimetric.
Yep. I had pre-ordered it a while back, out of sight, out of mind. And then it's like, oh, this thing's ready the day after I bought this one.
I admit to kind of orchestrating this acquisition for you.
Thank you. Frank goes to these guitar shows all over the country. A lot of Texas and California, I think, are the two hot spots.
Frank at Thunder Road?
Uncle Frank over there at thunderroadguitars.com.
Yes.
Yeah. He goes to guitar shows.
Yeah.
California and Texas seem to be regular stops.
That's true, except this Mustang came from Nashville.
Tennessee. I lived in Memphis.
I liked Memphis. I've been to Graceland. I would recommend it to anybody, any day of the week.
I went maybe first or second year that they opened it up, not long after he died.
Well, way back in the olden times, I had a friend who worked in a pawn shop in the kind of downtown area of Seattle here. And the pawn shop was getting ready to close. And so I went to see my buddy over there. You're closing down. You have any guitars or anything? He's like, yeah, well, everything we have left is on the wall there. And there was a 1970s Mustang that was beat to hell. And this will tell you how long ago it was. He wanted $175 for it. And when you're young and don't have money, well, you don't have money. But I couldn't let it go, so I called up my buddy Ed. Not for nothing, there's this beat-up Mustang down in this pawn shop that's closing. $175.
Yeah.
Long story short, Ed bought it. But then he sold it.
Ed's a dummy.
And then he regretted selling it.
Terribly.
Ever since then, every time we run into a Mustang, Ed kind of looks, but doesn't have the vibe.
I'm vibes forward at all times. I'm a vibes dude. I'm not really big on story and plot. I just want flash. Does this thing play awesome? No. Is it in good? No, it's in terrible shape. Yeah, I love it.
Yep.
Vibes.
So fast forward, Frank goes to the guitar show in Nashville.
Yeah.
And I know that among the 40 some odd guitars he's bringing back is this one.
Uh-huh.
Ed happens to come into the shop within minutes.
The day.
Minutes of the delivery of these guitars are all lined up on the floor just inside the front door.
I go to Thunder Road not infrequently, but maybe every couple weeks. I just go in and look around, say hi, and, But yeah, very bad timing or amazing timing.
And these came in specific cases in the 60s. They were like silver cases.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Ed, you got to see this. You got to see this. You got to see this. And I start pulling out all the silver cases. No, not that one. Pull out the next one. Not that one. Really, Ed, you got to see this. No, not that one. Finally, I find this one. I'm like, look at this.
You pull the case out and it's bedazzled. The case is covered in stickers. It might have a Support Our Troops sticker on it. It's got some weird mixed messages. I think the bedazzle and the Support Our Troops messaging is just an interesting combination.
Yeah.
It's like your right-wing dad got a hold of the case and put some Support Our Troops and Blue Lives Matter sticker on it. And then your mom got a hold of the case and bedazzled it.
Yeah.
Just
Tell us what you ended up with here. What is it?
It's a 64 Mustang. That's it. I don't think it's a refin. It's an actual blue, apparently. I did some Google image searching, and I think those stickers are bicentennial stickers from Meyercord Corporation.
Wow.
Established in 1896 by George Meyercord in
New Jersey.
Chicago. Started out as a decal manufacturer and eventually made a name for themselves as an advertising sign maker as well.
Wow.
Shout out to antiqueadvertisingexpert.com.
That's cool.
There's no wiki or anything for Meyercord. I couldn't find George Meyercord. Not much information beyond that, but I think they're from 76.
There are also water slide decals of stars and little planets.
Yep.
When I was a kid, you could get the water slide decals of the planets.
Yep.
And they glowed in the dark. So we held this thing under the light, and then we went into a room and turned off the lights.
And it lit up.
It lit up. Somebody, in what I can only call a bad choice, at some point thought they wanted to remove the finish on the back.
Yeah.
And started to, and then somebody else probably said, hey, what are you doing? Leave that.
Yeah, exactly.
Part of the story.
It's weird because, it's a 64 Mustang.
Yeah. 1964.
Yeah.
The Mustang is introduced as a way of scaling up what Fender considered to be its beginner or student instruments. At that point, those were the Duosonic and the Music Master.
Yep.
Little one pickup, sometimes two pickup affairs. You found them a lot of times in that kind of desert sand color with the gold anodized pickguards.
And those are back to the 50s.
Yeah. So they redesigned the student model and called it the Mustang. After they did that, the Duosonic and the Music Master become the Duosonic 2 and the Music Master 2. They put two single coils in the Mustang designed specifically for the Mustang, which is kind of interesting because they could have just used the single coils they were putting in Stratocasters, but they didn't. And they had this unusual switching.
Do you know what's different between the Strat and the Mustang pickups?
The wiring. The bridge pickup is reverse wound.
Yep.
Each pickup has a three-way switch. When it's in the middle, the pickups are off.
Yep.
When you turn it on,
maybe as necky as it can go? You know what I will say about that neck pickup and just the sound of it?
Yeah.
Pretty terrible.
Yeah, you roll up the treble a little bit and it shapes up some.
Just roll that off.
Blanket over the speaker sound.
Do a little jazz. you know.
Shoo-ba-doo-wah.
No.
But, you know, if you were going all the way bassy,
Yeah.
that's where maybe things like this start to come in handy.
That just comes in handy always anyway.
So if I turn on the bridge as well,
Both.
yes, both pickup switches are on.
And they are both in the same direction.
Yes,
Both forward.
that's right. Now here's the cool Mustang thing. Whenever both switches are on,
Yep.
but in different positions,
Back and forward.
exactly, the pickups are out of phase.
Love it.
So in phase, out of phase.
There's no point in playing this guitar in phase.
If you're out of phase, you might as well put a phaser on it.
That sounds awesome. More fuzz, John. Is that the trash pedal?
Air trash.
Yeah. I love it. I probably had this for not even 2 weeks, and I played it exclusively, like every day for 2 weeks. And then I got this millimetric, and it is crazy going between those two guitars. This thing looks terrible. It kind of sounds terrible. It's great with that trash thing, and I love it. And then I got the millimetric. It plays amazing. It feels amazing. The pickups are just hot as hell and super aggressive. I can appreciate both, I guess.
You use them for different things, sure.
I guess. They definitely have that deal where you play them differently.
Oh, sure.
The millimetric, he based the pickups on the Travis Bean, and it is very shellacky. R.I.P. Steve Albini. Man, that really, really bummed me out.
Yeah.
Sometimes someone dies and there might be a day where people are posting, you know, they're like, oh man, we lost whatever guitar player or person, and then it's just gone. People are posting to this day about Steve Albini and just how awesome that dude was.
His influence is so wide-ranging.
I saw Shellac quite a few times. They always played all ages. And if you wanted a t-shirt or something, they just brought out these huge Rubbermaid bins of t-shirts and then just sat there and took your like $20 and dug in the thing for the t-shirt. And I asked if I could get a picture of Carter, and he was 10, 11, something like that. Steve Albini was like, oh yeah. And I kind of just expected him to lean down or something. And he totally grabbed Carter, pulled him up on stage. And there's a picture of Carter sitting, not quite on Steve Albini's lap, but just like next to him. He was like, oh, how long have you been a human? Carter was like 10 years. And he's just like, oh, cool. Okay. Like, just great, though, you know? R.I.P.
Thanks for everything, Steve. The color thing. For some reason, you could get it in red, white, or blue.
God bless America, John.
At that point in 64,
Yeah.
they had invented the names Dakota Red, Daphne Blue, and Olympic White, but did not apply them to this guitar.
Weird.
Maybe those were like upscale names.
Yeah. Blue and Daphne Blue, were they different?
No, they're the same color.
Literally red and Dakota Red. Were
Same color. Marketing.
weird.
Later, they would change that.
Right.
In 65, they went to the larger headstock.
Yeah.
That makes sense. 66, they introduced a Mustang bass.
Yep.
And then in 69, you know about the competition Mustangs.
The orange competition.
Yeah.
I love that thing. But they are just so expensive.
They're so intertwined with Kurt Cobain's legacy. Yeah, I mean, It's not my thing. I like walking around with a Kurt Cobain guitar.
Weirdly, I don't associate all competitions with Cobain at all. But like, yeah, I guess I totally can see that.
The blue one is very interesting because they didn't call it that.
Oh?
I don't know why. They called it Competition Burgundy.
Yeah, yes. I see it every once in a while, and I always think it's a typo.
The reissues they did just recently were called Competition Burgundy.
Yeah.
But the others were orange and red.
Yeah.
They were influenced by the Shelby Mustangs of the day in the late 60s.
Really?
Yeah.
Those were cool cars.
Well, you can get heavy with that pedal.
Lysis?
Yeah, the Solid Gold Effects Lysis.
Throw that Chase Bliss on.
The Dirt?
Yeah. Make it bad. My dad was in the military. I was raised on military bases.
Uh-huh.
And I feel like there's some weird psychological thing in my brain. I actually just really like the eagle, the flag, the Buck Owens flag guitar. I really like the patriotic iconography without having the leanings. One of my favorite things about walking to your house.
Oh, do you go by that one house?
Yes. There's a house with WWG1, WGA, like where
we go one, we go all.
Yeah. Spray painted in their driveway with a QAnon, a big actual QAnon sign. They have some We the People sign. All this crazy iconography.
Is their next door neighbor still doing their thing?
It hasn't turned into an all-out fight.
They've got a political yard sign that says, "Presidents are temporary, Wu-Tang is forever."
No, that's gone. That's gone. If you're neighbors with that guy, good luck selling your house. There's no way I would move in next to a QAnon person. You're not going to convert that person. They're gone.
You might as well just start drinking mercury. The syphilis is
taking hold of the brain.
Yeah, you're not coming back from that.
No.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
Sounds great.
They discontinued the Mustang in 82.
Idiots.
It probably doesn't surprise you that they reissued them starting in 1990. It's probably mid-80s when all the alts are like, man, what's the cheap thing I can get at the pawn shop? And then Fender figured it out later. And you know, when they discontinued the Mustang, it was in favor of the Bullet. The other student things like the Music Master, and they were moved over to the Squire division.
Yeah.
Well, Ed.
Yeah.
In 1964, when this guitar I'm holding in my hands was made, marketed as a student guitar at the time.
Yep.
What are you paying?
I'm going to go back 2 weeks, and we did the Supro Kingston.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to put a number on this thing that is way too low. And I said $89, and it was $74.
Now you're talking about a major player in the market.
Yep.
But their low-end offering.
Exactly. $189.
$189.50.
God.
I say you nailed that.
Oh my God.
You did it.
How about that?
That was great. Today dollars, that's $1,900.
Yep.
So safe to say that the Mustang has far exceeded inflation.
Yeah. Vibes, John.
You gotta try it. Try and decide. Is it hello or goodbye? Buy or deny?
Well, I think we know Ed's answer because this is his guitar.
Yep.
This is a solid buy.
Yep.
For me, it's a solid buy.
Yep.
As long as you've got that out of phase, that's a no-brainer. Then something with this much character to it.
Yeah. It's got flags on it. It's got eagles.
Yeah. I got a lot to take pictures of on this.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have my work cut out for me on this one.
Yeah.
We'll put them up on Instas.
People love it when we post stuff there.
Don't forget patreon.com/thehigh-gain.
Yep. Patreon.com, The High Gain.
And we are still kicking it old school with the Ruinous Media Network of music-related podcasts. Should we come back and do another one?
Nah. Yeah, we should.
Let's do that.
Next week?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. See you then.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye.